All right, we do have a quorum, so I will call this meeting to order. It's 5:30. Roll call has been taken electronically. This meeting of the Ripon Area School District Board of Education has been properly noticed in accordance with the open meeting law and state statute 19.84 and related legal references. As always, our statement of the district vision, one of Wisconsin's finest school districts, fostering excellence for all through innovation. Is there any adjustment to the agenda anyone would like? Seeing nothing, we'll accept it and move on. So the first item of business is to accept professional letters of resignation from Casey Baker, Brooklyn Markowski, Alison Lessman, William Martin, Christy Day, and Yolanda Meinke Reza. Is there a motion to accept the staff resignations as presented?
Awesome.
Thank you, Lori. Is there a second?
Second.
And Tom. Any discussion? May vote. Of course, that's where we have a problem because I have Gary and Betsy on the list. So hang on a second. Let me There we go. And so it passes 6-0 with 3 absent. All right. The next item is to consider approval to hire professional staff. We have 2 people, Abby Biddle as school psychologist and Samantha Givetta as the high school art teacher for next year. Is there a motion to approve the hiring as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Josh. All those in favor, we should be able to vote. There we go. And again, passes unanimously of those present. All right, so we have a special presentation, Superintendent Search Survey Results in District Profile.
All right, here we are.
Hi.
Hey, most of the work is done, now the fun part comes, right?
I'm not sure about that Saturday, but
It'll be fun when we're here that day, though.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be like, I don't know, 30 and rainy or something.
Yeah.
It won't be 75 and sunny. No, thank you for having me here tonight. So the purpose of tonight is to kind of walk you through this report. I don't spend a lot of time on the report. I know you can read it. I do want to highlight some things and kind of point out a couple things. And I remind people we are the messenger. We basically record what we hear. And what we do is we look for common themes amongst those different groups. And there were a number of common themes throughout your district. So, you know, page 3 just recaps the district. It just kind of describes the district so people applying could, again, really understand the district. On page 4, that little pie chart, good news is over 75%, you had 205 participants in the survey, which is really high, which is a nice number. So over 75% scored a 4 or 5, which is really good. So the majority of your public thinks highly of the school district, and we don't see that in all of our searches. And then we just kind of remind the people what questions we did ask in the focus group. And on page 5, you can see the different groups that we did talk to. So where we get into then those strengths and challenges are on page 6, and we start with the board. And so we look for different categories. So you can see the bold would be like the themes or the titles, and then the supporting bullet points are what people have said throughout the interviews. So board talked a lot about the high academic success, the community support and student enrichment, dedicated staff and leadership, innovative future focused, and then strong fiscal management. So those were the themes across the board. Those challenges, communication was one that was mentioned. Board would like to do a little better job communicating with the community, and also involved in some decision making. In-school challenges, looking at some of those achievement gaps, looking at maybe some more support for lower elementary teachers as well. State mandated and budget constraints is a concern, and then declining enrollment. That was a common theme amongst all the groups, declining enrollment, whether it's open enrolled out or just declining enrollment in general. So when you look at those characteristics of the board, you want a strong collaborator, good communicator, someone strong in instruction and finance, great interpersonal skills, and then community minded or focused. Then we get to the parents and community. Again, a lot of these are the same. Student opportunities, academic excellence. Many people talked about all the opportunities. For a smaller district, your students have a lot of opportunities. That's something to be very proud of. Great community partnerships and focus on community, tradition of excellence, a very safe and supportive culture, and then Ripon is a great town or a great city to live in and to raise a family. Challenges, one of the things that came up a little bit, and there's no other way to say this, but it seems like most of the groups thought that the superintendent at times could be hard to be approached, and people were kind of turned off a little bit when they tried to approach her. And then also the fact that the current superintendent was really running the district versus the board giving input and being able to give feedback, and a number of comments were that it doesn't feel like the board is the superintendent's boss. It was the other way around, where the superintendent was the board's boss. And so I just wanted you to be aware of that was the theme that was out there. Other challenges, staff retention and compensation. Again, you're kind of in some areas where you've got larger districts surrounding you, and so the compensation model can be tough in those smaller districts. Teacher support, some felt that the teachers need more support, that relationship building was important, and then again, you got declining enrollment. I think declining enrollment came up in every single group, so you have to keep an eye on that. And then the characteristics from the parents, they want a relationship builder, they want someone that's definitely student and staff focused, effective communicator, leadership and experience, and then strong with community engagement. Looking at the staff, commitment to the student well-being, so the total child. Academics are strong and strong programming, very welcoming environment, supportive administrative and community, and then professional development and teacher compensation they felt was a strength. So you don't hear that too often. They think that's a strength. So kudos to your district. Challenges from the staff. Financial challenges with the ESSER funds being eliminated. Many districts are struggling with that. Staffing concerns. Would like to see more like long-term planning, some facility planning. Again, declining enrollment was mentioned, and then instructional and program needs. The rising special ed population, and then athletic participation could also improve as well. And then when you look at the characteristics, they talked about, again, someone that's approachable, someone that's personable, someone that's a collaborative leader, effective communicator, educator focused, and then also that relationship builder. We talk about the students, which I really like doing those student groups. The strengths, the students felt that a variety of opportunities in academics and in co-curricular as well. They like all the club activities, they like the dual enrollment classes, They talked a lot about advanced placement, summer offerings, youth apprenticeship, strong tech ed. So they're very, very pleased with the academic efforts on behalf of the district. They felt the staff was very, very supportive, open. You could approach the staff anytime, they're friendly. They like how the office staff is welcoming, strong community support. They talked about the alumni, again, strong alumni support across the district. They talked about strong partnerships with businesses. And then small knit school, everyone knows everyone. It's a great welcoming environment. School culture is good. They like the breakout spaces they have within the building as well. And they talked about connections with student connections and leadership. They like the fact that their clubs or organizations are all pretty much student run. Although they have an advisor, the students run the clubs, and they really like that, and they like the opportunities that they're given. Challenges identified by the students. They felt they have voices, but they're not certain those voices are heard. So, in other words, what they explained to me was, yeah, they want our input, they want to talk to us, and then we give ideas, but those ideas are not then taken to that next level. So they want to see some of their things put into action. They talked about the club meeting times. During advisory, it doesn't work for all students. They talked also about academic and extracurricular improvements. Talked about funding, more equitable funding, more remedial programs such as math that would benefit students. And I know there's a shortage in almost every district with substitute teachers, but they specifically mentioned that the substitute teacher shortage and the quality of the substitute teachers. More food, this comes up all the time, school lunches, would like to see better options, more food. Talked about the lunch being brought in from the middle school, so I'm sure you're aware of all that. Facility needs, they talked about bathrooms could use a little repairs and updates. High school water fountains could be fixed. And then the baseball, softball fields looking for upgrades in that as well. They talked about student parking. There were some issues with student parking, but they wanted clear expectations of what is expected. The characteristics they're looking for: someone that's compassionate, visible, goes to their events, goes to their activities, and is present. Doesn't just are there because they have to be there, but they're present, they're engaged while they're there. Results driven, and then a strong communicator. That's what they were looking for as well. And then starting on page 15, what we tried to do was take all the groups and come up with common themes that would be common in all of the different groups that we interviewed. And again, this is just repetitive, but they talked about the groups combined. Talked about high academic student success, caring staff, dedicated staff, strong community support, and then very strong student successful culture across the building, or the district, I should say. Challenges, again, we talked about the decision making, who's making that decision. Long-term planning, we'd like to see some long-term planning, funding and financial stability, and then program needs and teacher support also came up as well. So collectively, characteristics, visible, visible came up over and over and over. Visible, engaged, active, not just in school but in the community as well. Effective communicator, relationship builder, and student focused, again, came up quite a bit. And then you can just kind of see those bullet points where we got all of the information from, which created those different themes across the board. So I'm going to stop right there and see if you have questions. Again, we pretty much write what we hear. We don't try to change anything. The only thing we'll take out is if it's very, very negative and derogatory or specific names are mentioned, then we delete those or take those out. But overall, the report is really good. You should be really proud of your district. I think just talking to the staff, the parents, the community, the teachers, the students, they like it here and got a good district. So a lot to be proud of. Questions, and I always ask the question, do you feel the report is accurate?
On the whole.
Yeah.
I think so.
I would say so.
It was neat to read. I mean, I appreciate you guys doing this. Nice to see.
I mean, everybody has different opinions. Some things are very, some things are not. And some things people just don't know.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
The specifics of stuff.
I know.
So,
I know.
but overall, yeah, I'd say it was a good report.
Good.
Do you know, it seems like enrollment is a theme, but isn't it a theme across the nation? I mean,
Well, what's happening? Yeah, what's happening with school choice, vouchers, virtual schools are huge, especially since COVID. They're huge and they're all over the state. And it's so easy for kids to open and roll out, not even to go to a neighboring school.
Right.
RVA is huge. I mean, I don't know where you lose your kids to, but they have so many options are good, but at what expense?
Right.
And so that's a concern everywhere.
Yeah, because I went to a workshop within the last year, and that was mentioned by every single district that was there.
Yep.
They had even Madison, which I thought, it seems like everybody's moving to Madison.
Well, they're moving to the suburbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
some
that's
Prairie's
area.
growing and
Yeah.
Verona's growing, and so there are places growing. Hortonville used to be growing, but have stopped.
So I'll give you a little fun fact. I just completed the Milwaukee search not too long ago. So Milwaukee has just under 70,000 students. Okay, but what they also people don't realize is the second biggest district is Madison, 22,000. So that's the discrepancy in the state. Milwaukee loses 28,000 students. The voucher schools, open enrollment out. So technically, the students they lose is the second largest district in the state.
Oh,
So yes, it's a theme everywhere. It's people are, and I would be interested in the new superintendent should look into here. Take your open enrollment out. Where are they going? Are they going to brick and mortar schools or are they going to virtual schools? That would be
We do
something.
pretty well in
We
that
do
regard.
pretty well there.
We're better we have more incoming than outgoing.
We have
We do
a
track it
virtual
annually to see where they're all.
Okay.
I think that virtual school probably saved us in a lot.
So then when they talk about declining enrollment, they're probably referring to the kids coming in, the pre-K, kindergarten classes. The enrollment is probably less or smaller than the junior and senior class in high
I'd
school.
be curious to know, I don't think we ever talked about this before, but what number of students do virtual school not in our school? You know what I mean? Go to other virtual schools?
And we get that every year. I don't
Do we?
remember the numbers, but it's
I
not
don't
actually
remember
that many.
Okay.
Isn't that many?
We have a lot that come from the state, I mean, outside of the district.
I wonder why, you know what I mean? What would be the reason? Would be something to find out, why don't they choose our own?
I know that staff have called and done a survey to
Oh,
find
okay.
out.
That would be good to know.
That has happened, and you have been provided a report.
I'll
We
have to
could-
look back.
we could
You
find
have
it
to find it.
And
It's older
reshare
than
it with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
But not super old. It was fairly recent.
it was pretty recent,
I'll
yep.
look that up.
Yeah, I
Just
was
curiosity.
surprised by the enrollment entry, declining enrollment concerns. But it must be that
I think it's
first,
classes coming in.
yeah.
It's the brick and mortar kindergarten, first grade.
Right.
It's just,
It's also the high school population. We're down to 420 something for our athletic number versus we were at 475 or so like
Oh.
a few years ago.
Yeah, our graduating classes, we've had some 150 graduating classes and now we're down to.
Almost every class is right around 100.
I mean, just demographics alone in Wisconsin have been lower.
Yeah.
Just over the last 10 years.
and our population in
Studies,
Ripon is held
population.
steady, so we've been 8,000 people for
I think we're all
50 years.
old, but
And it's the housing, we're not,
We don't have housing for anybody.
it's really a housing issue.
It is. It is.
So and again, this document, yeah, it's great for the candidates, but it's really good for the person who gets the job to be able to just kind of read through it and peck away at it or just kind of do some more digging. If that person notices themes, or they can just do some digging on their own and kind of see what they should tackle first. So, all right. Any other questions? Yeah.
You mentioned negative comments. Did you get many?
We got some, and it was, try to keep it professional where before I make my next comment, keep in mind that this was a very small group of individuals who gave us comments. So you had 200 and some take the survey, and we had focus groups, anywhere from probably 5 to 30 in a focus group. So the vast majority of the people that live here didn't participate. Okay, but so the negative comments were more about being able to approach the superintendent, being able to carry on a conversation, being able to, I guess, set in certain ways and not being adaptable, or maybe black and white's a better word. That was a theme. The Ripon College thing came up, where it seemed like at one point the relationship was really, really good, then it kind of got sour, and now it's getting better, but there's still ways to go with that relationship. We talked about the sports facility, something that came up. Had a great conversation, great meeting with the chief of police, the mayor, the city administrator, the three together. That was really good. Yeah. So they speak very highly of the district, and someone made a comment about, the city is only as good as the school district. So you've got a really solid school district. It really helps the infrastructure and the growth of the city and the economics of the city, and they all feel it's been a strong district. So, in a good relationship with the police resource officer, the city, and the school district, that came up. I asked the kids specifically if they liked the police resource officer, and the answer was clearly yes. So that was good. I asked the students if the superintendent were to walk into this room right now, would you recognize her? And I think they all raised their hand yes. So that's good. So, because some districts, no one raises their hand, and it's kind of sad. But
anything else from anybody?
all right.
I just have one question
Yeah.
for you. It has to do with the first round interview questions.
Okay.
And I'd like to suggest tweaking one of them.
You can tweak all of them.
What's the best way to?
We're going to do that tonight.
Okay.
That is a draft. You can delete, add, come up with more questions. We talked about that tonight.
Okay.
Yep. So if that's all we need to do for the report, we'll put that on get it on your website, get it on our website, and the candidates will definitely want to read through it before the interview. So,
Who has seen this already?
just the board.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. It's now officially a public document after this meeting. So if anyone does request it through open record, we have to release it. But so we put it on both websites. So, and I can promise you tomorrow morning I'll get emails from candidates. Where is the report? So that's how they do their homework.
That's good to know. All right. So then we're ready to move into closed session.
Yes.
So I will take a motion to move into executive session.
Move into executive session.
Absolutely.
Hey, Gary.
Second.
Thank you, Cal. And you may vote.
Thank you very much.
All right. We will excuse you and convene in closed session.